I don't know about your 20s. I don't know what you did in your 20s, but my 20s have been like this crazy roller coaster that have just like, it hasn't stopped. And I'm like, holy shit, this is what they meant by the 20s, or psychotic.
I mean, you're just over being 10.
Yeah,
You
literally.
were 10, 17 years ago.
And you feel like you know everything, man, when you're 22 and 23. It's so scary.
Of course.
The decisions and shit you make. It's crazy.
You got into making music. Well, I say you were successful making music while you were still in the military, right?
Yes.
How old were you?
22 when I started.
Wow.
I started putting videos on Twitter, and it was psychotic. It was crazy because I did it for like, I get all these messages all the time from people who are like, hey man, I was around when you released Heading South. I've been here from the beginning. And I'm like,
wow.
really? The very beginning, you know?